Hello. 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 Greetings, mortals. Today we're doing a serious video, a real deal thing, if you know what I'm saying. We're doing an interview of Edith, the beautiful, the wonderful, the brilliant, the bizarre Edith, the Camgirl, the e-girl, your friend, your family. Let's give her a call and see how she's doing. More likely, I'm asking her to call me because whatever fucking reason. Hello, Edith. You look gorgeous.
Hello, boy. How are you?
It's a little chilly, a little colder than I'm used to, but I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Pretty good. It's cold here too.
That's good. You know, cold makes your body age slower, so that's probably a good thing. Maybe I don't know. Um, okay, so let's go ahead and just start off with the questions. If you would you tell me a brief story of the first broadcast you had leading up to your final broadcast, the best you can remember? And I believe you told me that you started about 2 years ago.
Yeah. So I started camming and I don't really remember the first broadcast that I did. They all kind of run together and they're all kind of similar. Yeah, the tokens and the boobs and the vaginas, and then ultimately my last broadcast before I was banned. On my first site, I I got banned because I pretended to hang myself with the Hitachi magic wand, and lots of people reported me.
Yeah, tell me the story of that because you told it in a very funny way. You said people were asking you to do things.
Yeah, I was just sitting there trying to do the normal boobs and vagina butt things, and people were asking me to do like fecal poop shit related things, and it was really annoying and it was clogging up the whole chat feed. So I just pretended to kill myself, and I wrapped the cord of the Hitachi magic wand around my neck and then put the wand part in my dresser drawer and just shut it, and then laid there like this and pretended I was dead. And then right as I was resurrecting myself, my feed was cut off and I was banned forever.
Okay, and then you moved to so that was on my free cams, and then you moved to ChatterBait.
Hmm.
Okay, and now how did like ChatterBait work? Like, how does the money work? Like, how does all that work? And how hard was it to get into? Like, is it what kind of information do they want for you? Just how difficult was the process of starting?
They just want you to verify your age. So you create a profile with your email address, you verify that, you send them a picture of the front and back of a photo ID, and then one photo with the ID against your face. And then they verify you or they don't, and then you just start broadcasting. And when you first start, you don't have that many viewers, so you're not on like the first page. So the more viewers you have, the more viewers you will continue to have. So starting out can be kind of rough. People don't generally browse the last page of Chatterbait. There's some pretty interesting
Right.
things there, though.
Now you ended up going from the end to the front fairly quickly. I mean, you're a very smart person, right? Like, what did you do? Like, I remember you telling me that you were on the front of the page more than once.
Yeah, I was on the front more often than not towards the end of my stint at Chatterbait. And you said that I don't think, ask the question again.
It's all right. What did you do to get from the bottom to the front? Like, did you have a strategy, or did you just act yourself on camera?
I just acted like myself, but like a more, um, I was essentially myself, but I presented myself in a way that I felt would be more appealing and like ultimately totally was.
Okay, that's fair. So you kind of knew what your audience wanted, and you kind of pushed that forward.
Yeah, I did. I just tried to appeal to what I tried to appeal to the loneliness that I assumed was really prevalent in these sites.
Yeah, no, that's a for sure thing. Because, I mean, anyone who's not lonely, who's just trying to get the rocks off, can go over to Pornhub. They come to Chatterbait because they want a friend that's attractive, right?
It's not necessarily that I don't think they want a friend. A
Okay.
friend, if they wanted a friend, they'd go to like webofloneliness.com or like something like that.
Okay.
Um, like Chatterbait is supposedly a site for exhibitionists. Uh,
Okay.
but I think everybody who goes there wants to be seen in one way or another, whether you are a performer or a viewer, you are there to be acknowledged.
Okay, that's fair. Um, Now, tell me about your experience on Chatterbait. I know that there were some good times and there were some bad times, and people invaded your personal life outside of your camming. And then you ended. You had your final broadcast, and you no longer do it. Could you just kind of tell me the history of like what happened over there with you, and maybe your experience with your viewers? Just free form it. Tell me what you want.
Okay. So lots of cool stuff happened when I was at Chatterbait. Lots of really cool stuff. Like I got raided by 4chan a few times. One of those times, they sent nudes to my dad
Oh, jeez.
on Father's Day, and that was pretty cool. It didn't really bother me that much, so
I mean,
I signed on the
yeah,
next day like normal,
right.
and one time, actually this happened more than one occasion. On more than one occasion, I became belligerent for no reason and gave out my full address and demanded that people come to my house and rape and murder me. No one ever did.
No, that's pretty ballsy. I like that. Um, Now were you just doing that because literally for no reason, or was your audience pestering you, or were you just bored?
I don't know. I just wanted to see if they'd do it.
That's funny. That's really funny. So, so is that the extent they went with like invading your personal life? Was just sending that to your dad? How did they get your dad's number? Um,
Um,
I mean,
they
go ahead.
found his Facebook page, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Um, my full address was on my Amazon wish list. Most girls have an Amazon wish list where viewers can like buy them dildos and
Yeah,
pants.
I've seen them on the pages. They're one of the most infuriating things for me because it's just like here's the things that I want. You can send them to me anonymously, and then but the smart thing is to have a PO box, obviously, right? You put your actual address up.
You can even hide your address.
Oh,
And nothing bad ever happened.
that's good.
But
At a certain point, you had to publicly come out that you were a cam girl. I remember though, right? What led you to do that?
oh yeah. So this strange man was telling me he had all these caps of me doing really compromising things like putting a strawberry in my anus and pooping it out. You know, stuff like you don't want your mom to see. And
Yeah.
he had my mom's Facebook and like my dad's Facebook and my little brother's Facebook and stuff. And he told me that if I didn't fuck a dog, he would send it to everyone.
Jesus. Now, obviously, that's not something that you're willing to do, especially under pressure.
No, but I played along. I was like, whose dog? Where do I get a dog? He went so far as to asking me to browse Craigslist for people who want their dogs adopted.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I ultimately Skype called him and called my mom, and I was like, hey, mom, I get naked and stick things of myself on the internet for money. Just thought I would tell you that before a man who wants me to fuck a dog does.
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, your mom's she's a mortician, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, for her, she's got to have some existentialism. Out of all moms, to have to tell that your mom is probably the best.
Yeah, she didn't really ask questions. She was just like, what do you mean he wants you to fuck a dog?
Yeah. That's funny. So was that what led you to quit? What exactly made you decide I no longer need to do this?
I was just going to school and working at the same time, and then I like felt obligated to the people I was on cam for when I decided to quit, which because I got kicked off of every other fucking cam site, even Cam Fuse. Cam
Never even
Fuse
never even heard of it. Why did you keep getting kicked off? Just because your sporadic nature?
because they have really stupid rules and I just hold on. I thought I put
It's all right.
this. Sorry. Um, they have really stupid rules, and I just broke them, like all of them, all the time.
I
US
feel that.
state has a rule that you're not allowed to put anything that's not a dildo inside of you. They even banned those butt plugs with tails.
Really?
Yep.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they did that.
Me either. All right. So, let's see. So, what exactly interested you with camming in the first place? Like, what made you want to start? Now, I know you had some history with being sexual before on the internet. You used to post photos of yourself on B. Um, you, I know you did some stuff on Craigslist at one point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you already had a history of being sexually promiscuous. You were exploring yourself. Is that what it was that made you just kind of want to cam? Is you kind of just wanted to be nude on camera and explore your body and your thoughts and just kind of be with anonymous people and just be yourself? Or was it the money? What drawed you to camming?
My friend Candace was a cam girl,
Okay, a friend. I hear that a lot. Okay.
and so that's how I knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew what this was, and I thought, like, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
What drew me to it was I liked the idea of the platform. I liked the idea of like having a host of like sad, lonely people to communicate with who would
Right.
like also give me money.
Yeah, that's fair. And I mean, would you say that your average viewer was kind of fucking stupid, or were they just very lonely? Like, what were they like?
Um, I feel like my average viewer was probably different than the average viewer, mostly because um so the average cam viewer, I feel like there are different kinds of cam viewers. There's the guy from Brazil who comes into your chat room and he's a gray user, he has no tokens, and he just like whacks his penis on the keyboard until like ride the thick dildo comes out, and like that's the extent of the interaction.
That's fair.
And then there's like the really angry guy who's really mad at you for what you're doing, and he's telling you you're a slut and you're a whore and you're a prostitute while he's furiously jerking his penis. He also doesn't have any tokens.
Okay.
And then there's the guy. I can think of a specific. I can think of a few people like this right now. Like this is like a big portion of a big part of the demographic of cam viewers is the guy who thinks he can buy your love. Oh,
Okay. Like sincerely love?
yeah. Like
That's I've seen guys like that. I mean, that's like what a sugar daddy is, like except the woman agrees with him, right? In a sense.
I don't think a sugar daddy is under the illusion that it's anything more than a
Superficial
uh,
relationship.
anything more than like an exchange.
Okay.
I think a sugar daddy is generally more content with his position in that relationship.
That's fair.
I think the cam viewer, um, the cam viewer who tries to buy your love is a lot more delusional. uh,
Yeah. Well, how much? So what was the most you had? Like, are these the people that drop like the big money on you? Those kind of dudes? Because I imagine you've had like an abnormally large donation before. Because whenever I've seen a Camgirl, just for my own research, by the way, everyone, they have like their top donator list right there.
Yeah.
And sometimes they'll have one that's like $900, like stuff like that. Like, what was the most you got in like a single donation, or just from one person, like over time that you could tell?
I don't even remember.
Really?
Yeah.
There's not even like a big one that sticks out to you?
No.
Well, that kind of goes to show that the donations don't buy the love, and they can't even buy your remembrance.
Yeah.
Right. Now, how much would you say on average you were netting? I mean, you said you were working and going to school at the same time. Was camgirling not more money than your day job?
When it started out, when I started out on my free cams, I made enough money quickly enough that I could get an apartment,
Jesus, that's awesome.
a 2-bedroom. and when I was on Chatterbait, I made enough to pay that rent and all of my bills, not work. And just buy things I didn't need, like bath bombs and books and American Apparel dresses.
What's up with girls and bath bombs? So how often were you streaming to get that kind of income? Like how many hours in a daily, like every other day, and how long was your streams on average?
Mine?
Yeah.
I really only stopped camming to sleep.
Really?
Sometimes I actually had a side project called Edith Sleeping, where you could view me sleeping for free on TinyChat.
I remember you sent me a link.
So I was constantly streaming.
Yeah.
I was.
Would people donate to you while you were sleeping?
No.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Okay.
It wasn't entirely about profit. Like more than most of the time, I was there like every waking minute of my life, and I wasn't making money the whole time for hours.
Yeah,
that didn't make
that's
sense.
fair. But that's cool that, I mean, for most women, it is profit. Like, that's what draws them to it, is the money. For you, it wasn't. It was more about introspection, right? Like, it was more about recording yourself. It was just an experiment.
I went there because I went to my free cams because I thought it would be a fun and interesting job. I thought it would be exciting, and I thought it would be lucrative. But I ended up becoming way too into it. I loved it. Chatterbait was my boyfriend. If I woke up scared in the middle of the night, I opened my laptop and I talked to people whose faces I'd never seen.
Yeah.
And
were they always underlying, like, wanting you to take your panties off? Like, was that how it always went? Or were there people in there that genuinely were happy to talk to you? Just in a friendly manner?
I think all of my regulars were generally content to just talk to me.
That's awesome.
But
so,
a lot of the people, towards the end, I made my living by tip for request. And instead of doing 25 tokens per request, that's normal, I did 10 tokens. That was like 50 cents or $1.
Yeah.
For a view of my boobs or butt or vagina or whatever they wanted. So my regulars obviously weren't paying for that. They've seen it all. So just the random people that would come in they didn't care about what I was talking about. They would interrupt me in the middle of a sentence just to like see my vagina. So
that's pretty good. But I mean, when you lowered the amount, I mean, it increased your profit, right? I mean, that appeals to the randoms more, doesn't it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I never kept track of like my profit or my earnings. I really didn't. I don't know how much I was making.
That's because it wasn't about money for you. It was about, like you said, it was fun. It was addictive. It was about the social interaction. right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was the most bizarre encounter you had? What cam or broadcast stands out to you the most? What will you never forget? Besides the dog fucker.
Wow. From like my personal experience,
Yeah.
like,
Or a broadcast that or something you've heard of. Yeah, any story, that's fine.
oh, buddy, let me tell you about these two really strange Spanish-speaking women, one of which was like a really giant, like middle-aged woman who had very long boobies.
Okay. Disgusting.
And then there was this hot, like tight-bodied 18-year-old girl who was her friend with benefits,
Okay.
and the young pretty one was just doing terrible, horrible things to the large one. Like she was sticking like a safety pin in her boob, which was disturbing. She was
Wait, just like the sharp part?
yeah,
Holy shit, ow.
and she was and the old lady was just like taking it, and so the hot girl like kept spitting in her mouth. She like smoked a cigarette and put it out on her nipple, and like
What the fuck?
she was fisting the old lady's vagina. It was crazy. Like I can't even tell you how crazy it was just to see. For some reason, it genuinely disturbed me, and they had no audio, so it was entirely
Just
silent.
visual. Yeah, that's fucking spooky as fuck. I wish you would have recorded that. I could have made it into something neat. That's pretty neat. So that was something you saw as a cam. Was there any bizarre like interaction you had with someone that stood out, like someone that was weird?
Yes. Oh, so this guy, he came into my room. I had a verified performer account where I could make tokens, but I had a side account that I used sometimes where I couldn't accept tokens.
Okay.
So I was on this account, and I was obviously on like one of the last few pages just talking to whatever random person came in, and this guy came in, and he asked me for his advice. He had no one to spend his birthday with, so he wanted to buy himself a present, which was an escort, and she would poop in a dog bowl and make him eat it. That's what he wanted to buy himself for his birthday. And he was like, "Should I do this?" And I was like, "Yes." But it gets weirder because then we're friends, and he tells me that so he's uncircumcised, and
Okay. I'm glad that that's important, that it's going to play into the story. Keep going.
and he jerks it like never retracting the foreskin.
What the fuck?
He went his whole life until he was like 19, never in his whole life retracting his foreskin. He didn't know it went down.
What the fuck, dude?
And then one day, for some reason, he was jerking it and accidentally retracted it and got really scared.
Oh my god.
He thought he ripped it or broke it, and
And he came to you with it?
no, he was just telling me this was a thing that happened to him.
Oh,
But it
okay, go on.
obviously left a big enough impression on him that he had to tell a random internet girl about it.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. It's like you're supposed to pull it down. That's how it works. That's crazy. Dude, it must have... Oh my god, it must have been so disgusting in there. Jeez, he never cleaned it his whole life. If there's anyone that's pro-circumcision, it should be that guy. Jeez. All right, so we already talked capital. You don't really know. Well, give me an average on it, like a day, how much you would expect to make. Or just try to ballpark how much you made in like a week, a day. Just how much money were you raking in?
I tried to make goals
Okay.
of $50 to $100. That this at the end, I was going on so infrequently that I had to start making goals. I couldn't count on like the net income
Yeah.
of like an extended period of time. So I was setting goals of like $50 to $100 a broadcast and stuff.
Yeah. So towards the end, it became more of like a typical show rather than the Edith experience of like just talking and then whenever you decide to take off your clothes and make it sexual, it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I used to say, I'm going to be on here for a very long time, and if you're trying to just bust a nut in 5 minutes, you can go view another cam and then come back here later, and I might be naked then. But then towards the end, I was like living at my mom's house and like couldn't be like really loud or weird and like
Yeah.
so it was just like it was so like give me tokens and I'm naked and like it was really boring. It was terrible.
Yeah, the fun was gone for you.
It was really like just purely transactional. It was depressing.
Yeah. At that point, you weren't a personality. You were a prostitute.
Dude, yeah, I don't know how people can like do that. Like there are cam girls who have had that model since I started camming and still do it. And it's like, how do
It's
you
because they're in it for the money, money, money. That's all they care about, man. There are people who that's what life is for them. It's possessions. It fills that hole, you know. They don't care about introspection, creativity, growing as a person. They just want to get money in the bank. They want nice cars. They want better dildos, you know. It's fucked.
I guess that can be said for like most people though.
Yeah,
It's just
but
especially weird when it's someone like banging their anus with a tentacle.
yeah, it is especially weird then. So you were on ChatterBait the most?
Yes.
Okay, and you got banned from MyFreeCams. What other sites did you get banned from?
I got banned from Chatterbait twice.
Okay,
I got banned from CamViews.
okay.
I got banned from Live Jasmine,
Okay.
which was a total jip. I got banned from there because you're not allowed to. So in Live Jasmine, you're way, way more like a prostitute.
Okay.
Way more because you sit in a little chat window
Mm-hmm.
and you're just supposed to entice the guys into a private, but you're
Oh.
not you're not allowed to show any explicit nudity in the free box that they view for free. But I did.
Oh. Okay. So it's like a premium service. I understand. Yeah, I think I've had pop-ups from Pornhub that try to take me there, and that is how it is. It's always just like a live girl like dancing in her clothes or something. It's weird. Okay. Now, did you befriend or interact with any girls that like you saw in stream? Like, did you ever reach out to one that you were watching and be like, "Oh, I like your show. We should be friends." Anything like that?
Yes.
Good. Tell me about it.
A lot of girls. I'm trying to think of their usernames. Ba, 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 ba.
Now, don't worry about their names. Just tell me about the experience you had with them.
Okay, Doxy. She's like 35 or 40. She lives with her mom. She masturbates on a ski lift. That's one of her videos that you can purchase. So that's really cool. She
Like publicly?
in bookstores. Yeah, she does
That's
all kinds of cool stuff.
that's cool. What about bookstores?
She exposes herself in them sometimes. I
Oh,
saw.
I've seen videos like that on Pornhub. Yeah, where girls like set the camera up and some guy will walk behind them and they'll like shuffle all their clothes back on real quick and then giggle and start back up.
Yeah, but the really cool thing is she was an engineer of sort who built crazy sex machines to use on herself.
What the fuck?
Um, yeah, that was a good one. Crystal Orchid, she is a tiny blonde nymphette type girl who really likes dolls and insects.
Insects. Did she put that into her show or was that just her personal life?
No, just her Amazon wish list was full of like books about bugs and
That's really fucking weird.
dolls for children. Um,
What a special person.
she does her own like real porn now.
Like as a porn star, like gets fucked on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's boring, but whatever. Let's see. Now, do you have any tips for cam girls who are starting and struggling? Like, what did you do to get on the front page and be successful? What would you suggest to them?
I would suggest, wow, I really don't want any like 18 or 19-year-old girls to like become cam girls. It's actually
No,
like
I was hoping you would say that. No, go on. Sorry.
it's really not as cool as it sounds. It's not. It's cool in concept, but really lame and probably more seedy than you're prepared for.
Yeah. So unless you're specifically very eccentric or odd, if unless you're very sexual or like nympho, it's not really for you, right?
Yes, but if you either aren't that or pretend that you're not, you will definitely you will definitely have a lot more you will definitely make more money.
There you go. So yeah, if you're in it for the money, no advice for you. More just keep doing what you're doing, and if you're not prepared for the disgusting, seedy nature of it, then you won't succeed, right?
Yep,
Okay, cool. And so if you had to go through the whole journey again, would you, or would you just erase it?
I would do it again.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. No regrets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for like the my entire stint at Cam 4, that can be erased.
Okay. Cam 4 is a big no.
Yes.
Okay. Well, why?
Um, because it was less profitable. I lost a lot of my regular viewers on Chatterbait when I got booted and had to move to Cam 4, so I had to like reacquaint myself with people that I
You probably kept comparing them to your old viewers, and they just didn't match up.
yeah, I guess since Chatterbait, okay, Chatterbait, it goes like my free cams at the top,
Mm-hmm.
Chatterbait, Cam 4, Cam Fuse. And I think I got banned from all of them in sequence.
That's funny. All right. So would you say did camming help you grow as a person? Did it change your life in a positive way? How did it affect who you are today now? Did you learn anything from it that you carry around with you?
Hmm. Uh, I think I think it made me better at interacting with strangers.
Okay.
It actually gave me like, and also I feel like it gave me like, I think it was enlightening about like the internet and in general, like interactions on the internet. um, like, um, I'm trying to elaborate on that. Let
It's
me
all
think.
right. Go ahead, take your time.
So, I would say that if I took anything away from my experience as a cam girl at all, it would be that the internet is a magical place, and having boobs and a vagina means you can make money doing nothing, and that, and I wouldn't give up the friends I made for anything. I made a lot of really great friends. I had a pretty good time.
Good. So for the biggest thing for you, you did meet people that you could connect with and that grow with, and how many do you talk to some of them still to this day?
Yeah, I do.
Good. All right. Well, it looks like that's about it for the questions I have. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything you want to ask me?
I feel like I want to ask you like why you are so bitter towards cam girls.
I'm not bitter towards cam girls. I'm bitter towards greed. I don't like when people's number one motivation in life is currency because sooner or later they're going to find out that it's empty, that money and objects don't buy you happiness, and the friends that you gain from having money are empty. They'll drop you as soon as you don't have it. They're not interested in your personality, and you don't grow as a person when your primary influence is money. There's no introspection. You don't learn how to talk with strangers. You don't learn about life. I mean, billions of humans have come and died over time, and all of them have learned things and left little hints about the truth of life behind. Look at the Bible, look at the Quran. I mean, that's essentially what they are. It's a collection of knowledge from the past. And people who are following greed as their primary directive, they're ignoring it. They're saying, fuck you. I don't care that you say money won't buy me happiness. Watch, it will, but it won't. I mean, either they'll grow to be awful people who are at the top of the chain with the most money and that are harming the world, or they'll just continue to be, buying sports cars and filling up their time with bullshit. Do you know Onision? Good. Let's keep it that way. It's a YouTuber that exploits people for money, exploits his life for money. Kind of what you did where you have your life playing all the time. He does that with a camera, and he cheats on his wife and records her reaction and shit like that, and but then he'll make fake stories and drama videos too that are obviously fake to kind of play it down, maybe it's all a joke, but there are parts of it that are real, and he really is a dirtbag, and the only thing he cares about is money and affection, and that irks me. I mean, I love sin, it's great. I'm glad we can do it, but specifically for me, greed, as someone who had to grow up with nothing, and is happy with nothing, really hits that G-spot of anger with me. But when I knew you were camgirling, it didn't ever hit me in a bitter way. I felt more prideful about it because I know you and I trust you, and I know that when you're doing something, you're learning something. You're bettering yourself. You're not like most people, and that's why we're having an interview today.
Well, that was really more than I expected.
Good.
I feel like I need to watch videos of this guy though.
Do that another time. You can watch Onision. That would be a learning experience for you if you want to see someone who only cares about money and who likes his own reflection to the point where he might be Satan reincarnate. Onision's the man for you. So I want to thank you a lot for this interview. I want to thank you for your time. You look beautiful. You're a wonderful person. And hopefully we'll have a part 2 to this someday.
I hope so.
All right. Have a nice day, Edith.
You too.
Bye. Bye.